Scott Bessent gave an update on Doge, which there was also a meeting around a board table on Jesse Waters' show last night. We'll have a couple highlights from that as well with the entire Doge team. But Scott Bessent wanted to point out specifically what's going on with Doge and the Treasury.
Young man sent over by Doge the IT update that began in 1990. Which was begun before he was born, is going to be finished during your term. So trade, you couldn't make it up.
Can you believe that?
Before he was born? Is that
one of the Doge guys is fixing an issue that has been outstanding and needing to be fixed since before he was born?
Oh my God, 1990.
I mean,
that is nuts.
What in the world?
Yeah, government, you guys.
My God. So speaking of Doge, Jesse Waters met a whole bunch of the Doge team last night on his show. And there was one guy you're going to hear from who was at Harvard and left school to do this, to do Doge, to help the country. Here he is explaining his rationale.
Speaking for myself, I dropped out of Harvard and came here to serve my country. And it's been unfortunate to see, lost friendships. Most of campus hates me now. But I think fundamentally, I hope people realize through conversations like this that reform is genuinely needed. And if there's one, I think this is important to say, if there's one group of people who really have a shot of success, it's the people here. They're up until 2 a.m., Monday through Sunday. Doge does not recognize weekends. We're working all the time.
What inspired you to drop out of Harvard to do this?
There's a lot of reform that's needed. I think the value of this and the impact here is so much more vast than anything you could learn in a classroom doing computer science.
And you guys are sleeping here, I'm hearing. You guys are up all night. You have this meeting at 10 o'clock every Wednesday?
We'll probably go back to work right after this.
Yeah. You're going back to work after this?
Yes.
Right.
It's almost 11 o'clock.
So that's early.
It's early? Can I go to bed? It's an incredible work ethic. You guys should be really, really proud of yourself.
He's getting a way better education doing that than he is at Harvard.
I mean, and imagine being a person who is mad about this entire effort.
Those are not his friends.
I mean, what in the hell?
Yeah.
I can't believe that anybody takes issue with what they are trying to do.
That kid is on, like all those kids. I say kids because they're kids.
Yeah.
They're on the way. They're paving the way to greatness. They're great kids.
Yeah.
They're doing really, really good things. They see that there is a need for reform and they're trying to fix it. Whereas other kids are like, let's go bitch about Palestine. It's like they understand what needs to be done and they're actually doing things to find solutions to problems. Mm-hmm. So that to me, way better education than sitting in a classroom.
For sure. For sure. You guys, we need to talk to you about debt for just a moment. So if you are a person that is on the struggle bus, and I don't put any blame on anybody who might be, because times are tough for a lot of people, especially after withstanding the Biden presidency. Mm-hmm. And so thankfully we have a sponsor, donewithdebt.com, that provides you with strategists to help you get out of debt. And they're not telling you that you got to file for bankruptcy. It's not like that. They've got all kinds of strategies that they use to bring your interest rates down, to wipe out debt completely. Lots of different ways that they can help you. And talking with them just to get a consultation is 100% free. And there's no obligation. So if you're struggling, if you're starting to get the calls from collections, don't panic. Do not immediately try to file for bankruptcy. Talk to the people at donewithdebt.com first. Please make sure that you talk to them first. Donewithdebt.com. Now, they're not all kids. There's one that you're going to hear from next but most of them are really young kids. But this guy looks to be a little more, how do they say,
mature,
in the tooth?
Long in the tooth.
I've never understood that phrase at all. Like, what is it?
Our teeth long?
Is it, do your teeth get longer as you age?
I don't know. It's everything. A lot of stuff grows and gets bigger.
I know your earlobes do,
and your nose.
Yeah.
Right. But teeth, I'd be okay if my teeth, I mean, it's okay.
Anyway,
yeah.
this guy's a little bit older and he is talking about the Treasury. I think we mentioned the other day about the payment system being sorted out because before they were just like randomly sending billions of dollars in payments without any knowledge of what it was for. There was no category code. There was no receipts. There was nothing. So they fixed that. And this guy is explaining this additional field that they requested. So the way things were working, I guess, is that like, say that there was a chunk of money that had already been allocated to a thing, right? So $1 million, say, is allocated to this bucket. And the people that work in that bucket would just be able to draw on that money whenever they wanted without showing any kind of receipt.
Oh my God.
Without saying what it was for, because it had been allocated. And so they just used it.
So it was a generalized bucket.
Yeah.
Right.
And now that they're being asked to show receipts, now all of a sudden they don't need the money.
Isn't that? It's so weird.
It's so weird.
Oh
So
my
here's
God.
this guy explaining exactly how that works.
One of the crazy things with regards to the Treasury is that when a payment is made, and the computers at the Treasury actually pay about $5 trillion per year, like crazy amounts, there was formerly not a budget code on there. So if a payment was made, you didn't know actually what it was for. It could have been for anything. Yeah. There was a $4 billion COVID fund in the Department of Education. And there was no receipts required, so people could just draw down on it. And when people looked into it, this wasn't us, this was before us, they found that money was being used to rent out Caesar's Palace for parties, rent out stadiums, et cetera. And so the one change that Doge made with the Department of Education is we had the simple requirement that if you draw down money, you must first upload a receipt. That was the only change that was made. You must upload your receipt. And upon doing so, nobody drew down any money anymore.
Yes, but we didn't say that we'd check the receipt. You could send a fake receipt. You could send a picture of your dog. Anything. But as soon as we asked for anything at all, suddenly the requests were like, oh, we don't need it anymore. That's interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
I just cannot.
Yeah, we are literally an ATM for these people. Just a nonstop open ATM.
Yeah.
They just keep taking money.
That's right.
It's so funny. He's like, you can send a picture of your dog, but they're like, no, I'm fine. I don't need the money. I'm fine. I don't need it.
I mean, and what was the amount that he said was a COVID fund for the Department of Ed, which we obviously need to eliminate?
Way too much.
It's insane.
It's way too much.
It's absolutely insane. You may have noticed next to the guy that was talking was the guy that we had previously identified as Big Balls because that was how he was presented on a news report. But it turns out that's not Big Balls.
It isn't?
But we did meet Big Balls, and he's probably the youngest one on the team. Here is the clip about Big Balls.
Who's Big Balls?
That should be obvious.
Why do they call you Big Balls?
I just said it as my LinkedIn username.
Okay.
Well, people on LinkedIn take themselves like super seriously, and they're pretty adverse to risk. And I was like, well, I want to be neither of those things. So I said it, and honestly, I didn't even think anyone would notice.
Oh my God, I love him. He is precious, isn't he?
I know, he's such a baby.
No one's gonna know.
Everybody, it's fine. It's LinkedIn. It's like supposed to be the most professional of the socials.
It's like, dude, that's what you are known for the rest of your life now is Big Balls.
It's so perfect.
No one's gonna notice.
I know.
It's fine.
So perfect.